Good evening. If the world's financial markets were already feeling rattled, today they were hit with Wall Street's version of a major quake. What could be the most serious banking crisis ever? Here's what happened. Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy, the biggest in U.S. history. Another bank, Merrill Lynch, agreed to be sold to the Bank of America. And AIG, the largest insurance company in the U.S., needs an emergency loan of up to $40 billion this week. They're all casualties in that country's ongoing credit crisis. It left global markets tumbling. The Dow Jones average dropped more than 500 points, its biggest plunge since 9/11. The TSX also fell big time, partly because of financial stocks, but also due to a slipping energy sector. We have extensive coverage on this story tonight, how it happened, what it means, and how it's affecting the election campaign. But we begin with the CBC's Neil McDonald in Washington.
In the end, the two financial powers pleaded for their survival like ordinary mortals. But this time there was no mercy, not even from the usual soft touches in Washington.
Yeah, they're not helping us out. I don't think they're going to help us out.
Or, in the words of a more junior employee, it sucks. By noon, it was official. Lehman Brothers was finished after 158 years, and Merrill Lynch's famous bull had become a bargain snack for a much larger bank. To the financial world, this seems like end-of-days stuff.
There is fear there. The confidence has just been totally lost. We are groping around at the moment in an unknown world, because we've never seen anything quite like this before.
Put most simply, the big banks were destroyed by their own greed, by bad mortgages dressed up in fancy trimmings, lent at unrealistic interest rates to people who couldn't possibly afford them. On the street where Lehman and Merrill lived, there is fear and not much pity.
I think it's time for companies who overextend themselves to pay the price.
The White House seems to feel the same.
I never once considered that it was appropriate to put taxpayer money on the line in resolving Lehman Brothers.
That is perhaps because Washington has already put tens of billions of taxpayers' money at risk to save other companies. Or perhaps because economists believe more failures are inevitable. This expert says there still might be nearly $500 billion worth of bad debt fermenting on Wall Street.
Time now in the American economy is going to be better off without these bankers. They don't do a very good job. They're causing a great deal of disruption, and we're much better off with them gone.
The question is, how badly has all of this frightened the investors, particularly the overseas investors who have for years been financing this country's enthusiastic spending habits? If those investors choose to drastically reduce credit, it could trigger a severe recession here, and the consequences of that could easily spread around the world. Neil McDonald, CBC News, Washington.